A brand new era, a brand new season of the GB3 Championship is here in 2025 as we get ready to cover this championship for the first time on JB Motorsports. Good afternoon and welcome.
That I don't know the answer to. Who's your hero growing up? Who do you aspire to be like, and who got you into motorsports?
Well, who got me into motorsport was actually my dad, and I aspired Lewis Hamilton and Ayrton Senna massively as a kid in motorsport.
So world champions all the way.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, well, best of luck here at Silverstone to start the season and for the rest of the campaign.
Perfect, thank you.
There we go, Deegan Fairclough, one of the very fancied drivers starting off this GB3 season. You can see in shot right now another of the new drivers, Gianmarco Pradel for Rodin. We've got a mixture of new drivers, as we've seen there, and also returning drivers. And back down in 18th, a disappointing qualifying, but it's good to see Hugo Schwarzer back on the grid. Great to see you back here at Silverstone, a track that you've raced at before. How sort of quick did this all come together? Because we weren't maybe expecting to see you on the grid this weekend until very recently.
Yeah, it was quite a last-minute decision. I was out in the car a couple of weeks ago with VRD just doing some development testing, and yeah, the team was really happy with how I drove, how I developed the car. So they asked me to come back.
Would you have maybe preferred a little bit more lead time, a bit more prep into coming into this season?
I'm very spontaneous, so if I get the call, I'll be there.
I like that. I like the idea that anyone could call you anywhere in the world and you will come and drive whatever it is. Yeah. Now, obviously, you're here for this weekend at the moment. Do you think there'll be more along the line?
Obviously, we'll see after the weekend, and that will be quite spontaneous as well. But you might see me again.
We would love to see you again, obviously.
The new car is all about getting the right setup and finding the last couple of steps. So this weekend will be all about getting the most out of myself in the car. I'd be happy with the top 10, but let's see where we are.
Well, look, we hope we see you for more races than just these three here at Silverstone. But if these are the only races you do this season, go well and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Great to see Hugo back on the grid. One of 13 different nationalities represented. Of course, Hugo being a German driver. We'll catch up with more of the drivers as the weekend goes on. We'll hear from Freddie Slater, the pole sitter, in just a second as well. But we are back at Silverstone, the home of British motorsport. So let's just remind ourselves of this iconic track.
And so it's the home of British motorsport then that opens the GB3 Championship for 2025. The iconic circuit with iconic corners as well. Maggots, Beckers and Chapel, of course, Copse, the run into Stowe. You've got the Abbey Village Loop section as well, and then round towards Brooklands. Of course, new for 2025 is those two DRS activation points, one on the Hanger Straight and one on the Wellington Straight as well. Round Luffield and out through Woodcote onto the start-finish straight, which of course is on the national side. 18 turns around here, of which plenty are great for overtaking. Most notably that Village Loop section. Those TDRS zones though, they're going to be very, very big when it comes to overtaking around this 3.6 mile, 5.8 kilometre circuit to open the season.
Let's ride on board the brand new car for 2025, the MSV GB3 025 car with XL Motorsports Dion Gouda. 35% more downforce than we had last year allows us to go easily flat through Copse Corner. Towards Maggots and Beckett's now. Once again, completely flat through Maggots and just a slight lift through Beckett's Corner, opening up the entry of Chapel. Down one more gear, use all the curb at the hotel and the wing. The next corner is Abbey. A bit of curb on the left to open up the entry, and we grab 6th gear at the apex, completely flat out once again as we bring ourselves to the left for the entry of Village. Braking and turning, an overtaking opportunity in the race and tricky to get right in qualifying. Back to the right-hand side for the loop. Using all of the extra grip we've got from the wider Pirelli tyres to get the power down on the exit here. Flat out once again through Aintree onto the second DRS zone here at Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Another overtaking opportunity going in towards Brooklands. All the curb on the right hand side to open up the entry of Brooklands. Braking and turning, the steering gets very heavy here. That's when the driver's training in the pre-season comes into play. The last corner of Luffield, trying to make it back for the second apex. Doesn't quite do it on this lap, but that won't hurt his lap time. And we head through Woodcote for a lap of the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit in the new, faster and improved GB3 car.
So there we go, a track that some people will know very well, some people would love to know more about, and hopefully that explained it to you. We can see Freddie Slater now, the pole sitter, just getting strapped into his car here. And Piers, he was with us for a race last time out, last year in 2024 at Donington, and you've seen him racing actually a few times recently with your escapades.
Yeah, of course. I got the chance to commentate on some Formula 3 and Formula 2, and Freddie.
Someone's doing well.
Yeah. Freddie Slater made his Formula 3 debut at Bahrain and was very good, getting a podium in the sprint race and was fighting for the lead. And we've seen that he's carried that form over to this weekend. Of course, double pole sitter and but pretty dominant.
Yeah, as I say earlier, a real coup for Hillspeed to have him racing for them this year. And I believe, Piers, you caught up with him after qualifying.
Freddie, pole position for both race 1 and race 2. Qualifying that record around here, that must be a good way to start your GB3 campaign in 2025.
Yeah, it was pretty special out there, to be honest. I just felt so in the rhythm as soon as I left the pits, and had a good tyre warm up, obviously with the colder conditions this morning compared to FP2 yesterday, and then got on with it, and then just kept putting in the laps in, and yeah, just had that flow, that rhythm, felt one with the track. If I'm being honest, everything just felt good, and I could just keep pushing. And Hillspeed and my engineer, Mr. A, gave me an unreal car to try and go for that lap record, obviously with a new car. So no, honestly, a massive thank you to them for giving me the opportunity to do laps like that.
Clearly you're enjoying driving this new car around Silverstone Grand Prix circuit.
I couldn't think of a better track and better car combination, if I'm being honest, at the moment, because through Maggots and Beckett's it's unreal. So good fun, and look forward to the races.
Let's just touch on the margin for a second. I haven't confirmed it yet, but I think it may well be the largest pole position margin, definitely in the drive we've had in GB3. And in the second qualifying session, you did a lap with 3 yellow sectors that still would have been good enough for pole. So that must be good for your confidence going into the races.
Yeah, I hope it's the biggest margin ever, but yeah, we'll find out on that one. But honestly, I could just kind of in the Q2, I could kind of bring everything back a little bit, not risk the track limits as much, because obviously what happened in Q1, I knew I had the pace, you know. So yeah, Q2 was solid. It was a clean lap. It was well built into the session, and yeah, overall pretty positive.
What's your plan going into the races now?
Get stuck in and try and win the races. That's as much. And then I'm also looking forward to a reverse grid, because yeah, what a better way to finish off the weekend.
Freddie, congratulations, double pole. We'll see you on track.
Thank you very much.
Well, you'll know Freddie Slater not only because he's on pole position, but because he's got that very nice half grey carbon fibre, half red Hillspeed car, which will be, be very nice for you on commentary, I'm sure, because it's a very, very striking car. We need to talk about some of the other drivers on the grid, and actually 2 female drivers that you'll know very well if you know the F1 Academy. Of course, Abby Pulling driving with Rodin. She qualified incredibly well, 4th position for this first race, and as the reigning F1 Academy champion, we know she's got it in her to win races and win championships.
It's really impressive qualifying for Abby. Big step up into GB3. These
Looks like we've momentarily lost the world feed as a couple of issues come in there, and it looks like their pictures are completely gone. They're going to cut away as we get ready for the intro. Well, it is time then to get going for GB3 in 2025. A new era, a new season as we mentioned, and we start the season over here at Silverstone on the Grand Prix layout as we get ready to run a season which is similar to the F1 calendar in terms of the circuits that we race at and the style of racing that we do as well, because we have DRS coming into play and we have the full layout for the drivers that the F1 drivers would also use around Silverstone. And with the 2 DRS zones, hopefully there will be quite a bit of overtaking, hopefully there will be quite a bit of action. This is going to be quite a lot of fun, and the only thing that is different is that we of course hold the start-finish straight at the old start-finish straight for Formula 1, and we should be seeing plenty of action. 3.6 miles is our venue, and well, that all happened very late. The world feed having a couple of issues there as they had to cut away and go straight to the intro there.
Yeah, it happens from time to time, unfortunately, but it's all right for us. At least the main feed, looking at the cars, should be okay. Um, and just to follow on from what you were saying earlier, yeah, we are indeed on the old pit straight that F1 used to use. So that means the first corner for us will be the mighty Cops Corner.
Yeah, there's absolutely quite a bit going on with that. We're going to have Freddie Slater, who will of course start at the front. It's going to be super, super exciting. The run down to Cops Corner will be really fun to see who's going to come out on top. And we've also of course got a driver tracker, as you at least get to now finally see a bit of our technology. We couldn't show it of course earlier on due to the TSL timings. Well, we have the entire day on that system, meaning that the Ginetta racing that was going on just before this was on there as well. So we put on an image of the grid as the drivers all set off for their formation lap then, and here we go. They leave the line and it's really starting to get a little bit tense now as we get ready to get going.
Yeah, really, really looking forward to this. These cars look absolutely phenomenal, don't they? They're modelled slightly, I think, on the old F3 cars from the 2000s and the early 2010s.
Yep.
As you want to take us through the grid, Omi?
Absolutely. Freddie Slater is on pole position alongside Gianmarco Pradell in second place. He'll go for Rodin Motorsport. Noah Lyle is in P3. Abby Pulling, what a performance it was from her in qualifying. She's going to be in fourth. We've got a staller on the grid. We'll catch up with that one later on. We've got Ninovich in fifth. Nikita Johnson is in sixth position. The driver doing a dual campaign with GB3 and Indy next. Kai Darianani is in seventh. And then we have Hayu Yamakoshi in eighth position. The driver who was announced earlier this week. Another driver who was announced earlier this week is the driver on the other side of the garage, Kanal Talise in 9th, and then we have Dion Goda in 10th position, and then we have Husenroda in 11th. Will McIntyre will go from P12 here in race 1, and then we have Kinu Alzari, part of the Alpine Academy, and he's in 13th alongside Lucas Flusha. As we see Reza Suwarathan in 15th, Deegan Fairclough in 16th, a bit of a disappointing qualifying session for him. Yun Pao Sui is in 17th, and then we have Hugo Schwartz in 18th position, the German driver, as he gets ready to get going. Mika Abrams is in 19th, Jack Sherwood is in 20th position, and then we have Enzo Tarn Van Eekel alongside Bianca Bustamante, who will go from P22 on the grid. Flynn Jacques is in 23rd, and then we have Divi Nandan in 24th position, and we have Stefan Bostanjiv in 25th, and last on the grid, Wes, and it's going to be exciting to see how he is going to be able to do off the line, and let's see whether he can try and improve some places all the way from the back.
Yeah, I do have a bit of an update for you. I think there was two cars that stalled on the dummy grid. One of them was a Fortec, haven't quite identified who that was. The other one, however, was a High-Tech, and it was Deegan Fairclough. So, at best, if they can get his car going again, he will start from the pit lane.
Yeah, so that will be a disappointing way to start their seasons, as we are about to line up on the grid and get a brand new season underway. We are currently taking a look at Kai Darianani in the number 88 machine. Let's see how he'll get on. All of the live timings and everything will come on, by the way, as soon as the lights go out. That's usually the way it works. Everything comes on at that moment. You can see the conditions are dry, and we have them all lining up in place. Well, these are the final nervy moments. We've had so much anticipation, so much weight with this new car, Wes, and it's finally time to get some answers and get some running.
I know, the nerves for all these drivers must be through the roof right now. It's round one, it's race one, and none of them can win the race in the first corner, but they most certainly can lose it, so they're going to have to be careful as they can be. A couple of the drivers will have empty spots in front of them, so they may have a slight advantage on the grid. But yeah, we're expecting Freddie Slater to very much lead into the first corner, aren't we?
Here we go, lights on, a brand new era, brand new season is underway. Great start off the line for Freddie Slater. We're going to get Alex Ninovich trying to put the pressure on, and he's going to go all the way around the outside, down through Cobb's corner. Keanu Alzeri also trying to make a move further back in the Alpine liveried machine as we throw it down through into Maggots and Beckett for the first time. Ninovich trying to put some pressure on Freddie Slater, who's maintained the lead as we try and make our way through the opening few corners of the season. It looks like they're all getting through cleanly, but a frenetic opening lap with Slater holding the lead.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal there. I think that's Noah Lyle who's got into second place, and he was really challenging Slater on the inside going into the Maggots Beckett's complex. Unfortunately for him, not able to quite to do it. But let's see if any of these drivers can stay with Slater, who, as we know from qualifying, has absolutely rapid pace.
Yep, we're going side by side. Look at the whole field, very close together. And yes, you are correct, it was Lyle who momentarily was able to move through. Pradell also still keeping his foot in there. They are scrambled all over the place as we get down to Abbey Corner here on the opening lap, and we're still side by side. You can see Keanu Al-Zaheri trying to navigate his way through, and he's going to be wheel to wheel with Dion Goda momentarily. 3 wide we go. The Hill Speed car trying to go all the way around the outside as well. It's really, really close, and this new generation of car already delivering with some great action is there. We try and see Hugo Schwartz trying to get down the inside.
Yeah, they're getting oh so close. How anybody hasn't managed to make contact with anyone else is anybody's guess. They're all trying to break the toe going down the Wellington straight there. A couple of lockups. Trying to, and on the inside there, that's a high-tech, that's number 4, Nikita Johnson, trying to defend, and he goes off onto the gravel briefly, manages to recover though.
He does indeed. So he was in a very, very fast battle there as we once again get down to Cobb's Corner on lap number 2 out of 12. And we have making his way through right now Reza Siwarathan just trying to keep his foot in further back. A really, really chaotic start. DRS is now enabled, so it is time. It is time to see how this new style of racing works, as we do get the confirmation of our order on the world feed pictures now. Slater 1.8 seconds ahead, so there won't be any DRS for Lyle. We are currently taking a look at the DRS though being used right now by Nikita Johnson as he tries to close in to make the move on Daryanani.
Yeah, it's very much making history now, this, for a non-FIA backed series with DRS being introduced. Can't wait to see if any of the drivers will be brave enough to try it. As we go, that's one of the Hill Speed cars. Can't quite make out who that is though. Trying to overtake one of the. I can't quite make that out. Sorry.
Well, there is quite a lot of drivers. And it's the opening round. We haven't been able to get any other live coverage. No practice, no qualifying. We're straight into it as well right now. They're all together, the Hill Speed cars as well, other than Slater, of course, right now at the front of the field as they try and get themselves onto the throttle. And that was super, super tight as we see further back trying to break the toe right now is Kai Daryanani just ahead of Nikita Johnson. But we're going side by side further back down into Brooklyn's corner, and it's getting super close into Brooklyn's corner as we find ourselves with Flusha trying to put some pressure on.
Yep, it's Flusha trying to get past the recovering Hayu Yamakoshi, who did qualify quite well for this race, but has fallen back down to 13th now. He's behind his teammate Kanato Lee, and they've both been overtaken by Hoytzenroder, who's in the XL Motorsport car.
Yep, absolutely, that is the case at this stage, and we have really had an exciting start to the racing here, and we can see in our picture right now Siwarathan just navigating his way through, and Siwarathan directly right now trying to put some pressure on Schwarzer directly ahead, and then we have Tan Vanikul directly in behind. They're all breaking the toe now, and with the DRS, they all have it because they're in this train, and they are all back to back to back, kind of the DRS trains that we're used to when it comes to Formula 3 and Formula 2 racing. But it's something new, as you mentioned, for this series, as Deegan Fairclough tries to go down the inside, and that will be move complete as he navigates his way by.
Yeah, well done there to Deegan Fairclough. He just overtook Flynn Jacks on the inside into Stowe. He's got a lot of recovering to do there. We saw him not make the formation lap. He had to start from the pit lane, but he's recovering nicely now, up to 21st place.
He is indeed, as we currently are just pushing on at this stage of the contest. They all have to, of course, think about quite a lot of factors. If you are, though, Deegan Fairclough, no factors to be thought about at this stage, just overtaking. That is another move complete for Deegan Fairclough as he fights his way past another driver. He is really going on the attack and showing us some of the talent that we saw in British F4 last year.
Yeah, that'll be Jack Sherwood. He's just overtaken, and already, look, he's lining up the Red Bull livery car. That's Envo Tom Vinichkel. He tries to go up the inside. Tom Vinichel's going to do well. No, he hasn't. That was a brilliant, brilliant move from Fairclough there. Caught Tom Vinichko napping, and he's now up into 17th place.
Absolutely wild stuff. This is incredible to watch. This is incredible to see Deegan Fairclough making moves where he likes at this stage. At the same time, I believe we just had Will McIntyre get past Dion Goda, the fastest lap being set lap after lap for Freddie Slater, who is dominating this race by 3.1 seconds, one of the biggest margins we've ever seen in GB3 earlier on when it came to qualifying, breaking the lap record as well with this circuit. So that was really, really great to see. And now we're going to find ourselves with the defensive shape being thrown momentarily and then going all the way around the outside. That's going to be really, really tight between these two drivers. You have Yamakoshi, who's able to just fire away by at this stage.
Kanato Lee there, look, has got the tip of his front nose cone missing, so he's obviously had contact with someone. I don't know whether it was Yamakoshi or somebody else, but yeah, that'll really be affecting the aerodynamics for him, though. No chance of his feet getting too warm, though.
Indeed, indeed. That is the case. Fairclough with another move to the inside, and he's going to fight his way past another driver, and that is going to be him getting past Sherwood there. Jack Sherwood being passed as we still battle our way through back onto the Wellington Straight with all of these drivers. Well, race 3 is going to be very interesting when Freddie Slater actually has to make overtakes. He's going to be overtaking like Fairclough is trying to do once again, and this time he was trying to dive to the inside of Hugo.
Yeah, that'll be Hugo Schwartz there, the German driver for the VRD team. He's only contracted so far for this particular event here at Silverstone. He may be back later, but he's got a lot of defending to do. Surely Fairclough won't have a go at Cops. No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it. But he is going to be getting extremely close, and he goes off the circuit briefly, trying to get by the slower Hugo Schwartz there. If he can keep up with him through Maggots and Beckett's, there's really only one line through here. Oh, he gets so close to trying. But yeah, all over the back of Hugo Schwartz. He might have messed up his momentum a little bit now because he's under pressure from the car behind, which is Jack Sherwood. Sherwood's going to try and go round the outside. No, not quite. But yeah, that's a bit of inexperience, it has to be said, from Deegan Fairclough. Instead of trying to hold his position behind Schwarzer, he decided to go for the attack and was really punished.
Go on at this stage between Pradel and Ninovic. They are the drivers in 3rd and 4th. So with the DRS, that could be a battle that we could keep an eye on if that does close in. But the man making the overtakes, the man to keep an eye on completely is, of course, Fairclough, as he is really, really passing and really, really going for it, which is really great to see. And definitely, even after it was a very disappointing qualifying earlier on, it's really nice to see that he's finally being able to show his talent basically immediately at the first opportunity, and well, the first time this series is actually being shown for a full coverage.
Yeah, not able to know really what it was that compromised him in qualifying, and certainly with stalling on the grid earlier, that really put pay to a good finish today. We've just gone past the half distance mark in this race, and Fairclough is still only in 17th place, so he's really going to have to get a wiggle on to score well in this race, but he's definitely going to try to do that. Looking back up at the front, the gap between Slater in first and Lyle in second is just a tad under 4 seconds now, so he's really stretching his legs now, is Freddie Slater. And Noah Lyle, not really under pressure from Pradell, so to speak. He's maintaining the gap. And then we've got the Rodins. All three Rodins, actually, are going to be scoring well in this race if they stay where they are. Pradell third, Ninovich fourth, and Pulling in fifth. They've got quite the gap going back to Kai Darianani. It's very big. We'll see how far it is as they go over the line. It's 3.7 seconds now, so yeah, the Rodin's not really under threat from behind at all.
Yep, Yuan Pusue was able to get past Abrams further back as well. That was a couple of moments ago. But the battle for second place will be getting our attention, and also what Deegan Fairclough is getting up to further back as he tries to still put some pressure on the German driver, Hugo Schwartz, that is directly ahead of him at this stage, as we currently take a look at Abby Pulling, and she just right now having a good race, a solid race, not really on the attack, just right now, as you mentioned, way ahead of Kai Darianani, but not anywhere near Ninovich to put some pressure on. But if the battle for second place with Pradell and Lyle, of course, ahead, and if Ninovich also joins in, which he absolutely is, then she is there to pick up the pieces to try and get a podium.
Yeah, definitely. She's definitely staying in contact with her
Late
teammates
lunch!
up at front.
Ninovich thinking about it. He was momentarily going for it, Wes.
He was, yeah. He's not going to be leaving Pradell alone. Obviously, this being GB3, there's definitely no team orders in that roading team. It's every man or woman for themselves.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. They've both got DRS, of course, behind Noah Lyle, but they're both going for it, both battling hard, which is really, really great to see at this stage as they just rotate the car through on lap number 7 out of 12. Then they apply the power and they make their way down the old start-finish straight, and it will be an old start-finish straight that will be awaiting for Slater. He'll hope in a couple of laps time to see the checkered flag and become the race victor. But Abby Pulling right now really having a decent race, and it was a great showing from her in qualifying. We've got Kai Darianani still, of course, as we mentioned, the big gap that there is between 5th and 6th by GB3 standards, but it's close between himself and Nikita Johnson, who is right now going to try and make that move for 6th. And then further back we have Kinu Alzari in 8th, McIntyre in 9th, and we have Dion Goda, who currently completes our top 10 in the running order right now.
Yeah, we're looking at Kinu Alazari at the moment in that pink BWT livery car. He's of course part of the Alpine Academy that Abby Pulling used to be part of. She's left it now, but is definitely showing that maybe Alpine should have kept her on, perhaps.
Yep, absolutely. She's now a Rodin ambassador. It's Abby Pulling. It was great to momentarily get to speak to her when it came to the test that these drivers had at Brands Hatch 1 week ago on the Tuesday. So that was definitely quite a lot of fun, and really seeing these cars. Of course, they've got a lot more downforce, a lot more speed. It's just incredible to see them navigating their way through. They're rapid machines, these cars are, on the straights, through the corners, and it really shows how these new regulations of cars are really working well. And of course, as we mentioned, the drag reduction system that they've also implemented, hoping to make racing a lot more interesting and to provide the drivers with more opportunities to try and make some overtakes. And it's definitely helpful in some of the battles we were talking about, like the ones for second place. Deegan Fairclough, we were seeing quite a couple of corners of him just trying to make overtakes absolutely everywhere. He's just toned back slightly right now and is just trying to regroup and then try and see if we can get a couple more positions. But yeah, I think he's really shown his overtaking skill and talent, and it will be great to see him go again tomorrow when it comes to race 2 in the morning, and he starts slightly higher up when it comes to race 2 as well.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully, whatever issues that caused him to stall on the grid earlier will be fixed by the high-tech team in time for that. Um, the driver's now coming towards Stowe Corner and out of it again, deploying all of the power. They've got 30 more brake horsepower than they had in the cars last year. It was 250 before, it's 280 now. And the cars have actually got 35% more downforce as well, so they can push a lot harder. As we're going to see a replay now, and this is why Fairclough has lost some ground on the back of Hugo Schwarzer. There, he got wide on the exit of Brooklands and kicked up some dust.
So, Wes, you've of course been watching quite a bit of GB3 in the past. Would you say the DRS so far has been effective, or as effective that you thought it would be?
Well, it's interesting. It's not been as effective. I think it's allowing cars to get closer, but I think the majority of the actual overtaking is still being done on the brakes. And of course, it takes a lot of bravery from the drivers as well in order to do that.
Yeah, a nice addition, and I think it's definitely allowing everyone to be just that little bit closer. Which, to be fair, is fine. We don't want to see slam dunk DRS overtakes. What we do want is drivers using some of the momentum that they may get from DRS to try and go on the attack. So Stefan Bostanji was just given a penalty. He's just come up 5 seconds for track limit on our screen.
That's right. Yeah, he's currently running down in 22nd. So it probably won't affect his race too much. It will drop him behind Flynn Jakes, though, in the Elite Motorsport car.
Yeah, so you can also see a great thing by TSL Timings, that you can also actually see the fact that they've actually highlighted the number 20, the driver in 22nd position, as it definitely tells you that he has got a penalty, makes that easy to identify as well. If we do get races, which I'm sure we will at some point, which just have tons of penalties as well. So a fairly clean race from the field so far, which is really, really great to see as well. And we can currently see Kanato Lee just trying his absolute best to defend from Lucas Flusha. Of course, you mentioned the nose cone missing for Kanato Lee, so he's still going to try and watch his teammate go on the attack, and then he'll hope to also try and make some overtakes and make some moves at the same time. Does Yamakoshi go for it? And he was thinking about it on Patrick Hosenroder, but Hosenroder just ahead at this stage.
Yeah. The DRS not really able to do too much to aid overtaking here. We do have a bit of a DRS train, if you like. The first one GB3 will have ever had so far. Not probably what the fans wanted to see, but I don't think we'll be getting too many of those, hopefully, in the near future.
Yeah.
As they go round Brooklands and about to go through Woodcut and over the start-finish line to complete a new lap. We're on lap 11 now, out of 12. Race almost over, and it's really flown by, hasn't it, Omi?
Yeah, in typical GB3 fashion, the race very nearly coming to a close, but we still have lots to try and figure out, including our battle for second place, which Lyle is going to have to look in the mirrors. Pradell is going to be in there. Pradell will want that second place back. It's where he started the race. Can he fight away by the start of the race? Was very, very critical. It was a great getaway from Freddie Slater. It's been a domination from start to finish by the British driver, who is on the penultimate lap, and he will be getting ready for his victorious lap, and it's going to be a big moment for him. But it's going to be really interesting to see whether Pradell can get past Noah Lyle.
Yeah, that's right. I'm amazed that that Slater, even at this late stage of the race, is still putting in fastest laps. He's got a 6-second gap, but even though he's been pulling away, he's managed to protect the tyres and is still able to do amazing things with them with what is now a very light fuel load.
Yeah, absolutely. I can just see last lap Lucy, who is at the circuit right now at Silverstone, also saying, I think the DRS is hurting the track. Hard to tell from trackside. So that's what she is saying. You'll be able to see her on tomorrow's British touring car coverage as well. JB and the team along with Tom Kens over there will try and definitely get a word with her. So getting super tight, but will it be close enough is the question for Pradel. Gianmarco Pradel racing in Italian F4 last year. I remember watching some of the races there, and it was really great to see what he was able to do, and he's directly in front. Got Lyle, but Lyle really starting to struggle. The opportunity is going to be there. This is some of the closest that Pradel has been able to get. And we are on the final lap of the race, and it's going to be a final lap that Freddie Slater will enjoy, but it's going to be the last opportunities right now coming in. You're going to get this DRS zone down the Hanger Straight, and there'll be one more down the Wellington Straight, and then that will be it. Can Pradel fight away by? Gaining, won't be able to get close enough when we get to Stowe Corner.
Yeah, Gianmarco Pradel, just to follow on from what you were saying, he was a pretty solid driver in Italian F4, able to collect a couple of wins, but he wasn't ever quite consistent enough to stay with the front runners. Here, though, this car seems to be very much gelling with his driving style, and he qualified extremely well. He's running extremely well, and if he can, he's running out of corners in order to overtake Lyle, but the performance he showed in the race thus far makes us think that he will be one to watch for the rest of this season.
Yep, Freddie Slater making his way down the Wellington Straight. Well, he had the amazing weekend in the sprint race at Bahrain a couple of weeks ago, and he's now come over to GB3. He's getting ready for his main FRECA season that will get underway next week, but in the rounds that he's doing in GB3, he's going to start it on the top step of the podium. The final corner is navigated for Freddie Slater, who comes across the line to take the opening race in GB3 2025. A superb performance, a complete domination after taking pole positions for both races this weekend. He'll get reversed down in race 3. Now he's won race 1. He'll try to do the exact same thing tomorrow. Lyle is in second. He hanged on up against Pradel, and then it was Ninovic in 4th. We found ourselves with Pulling in 5th. Johnson was in 6th position, and then we have Keanu Alzari in 7th, McIntyre in 8th, and then Kai Darianani in 9th position. Dion Goda finished the contest in 10th as well. But the opening race of the season, Wes, belongs to Freddie Slater.
Yeah, what was it ever in doubt, really? Slater, he had a little bit of a moment, I think, in the first couple of corners when Ninovic, was it Ninovic? No, sorry, Lyle tried to overtake through Maggots and Beckett's, but once he saw off that challenge, he never really looked back, and I think we can probably expect more of that, not only this weekend, but whenever we see him in the other races this season.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be really fun and interesting to see how he gets on and how the championship battle is going to go as well. I think for the rounds that Slater won't be here due to his FRECA commitments, I think it's going to be really tight, and it could be a really fun season and a lot of battling going on, hopefully, at the front as well. But when Slater's around, other than race 3, it's going to be a really hard task to beat him. But if anyone is able to do it at some point in the season, then that's going to make their drive even more impressive as well. So that's going to be really fun to see as all of them just navigate their way through on the cooldown laps. Cooldown laps after a incredible opening round. But yes, I guess we'll get a better idea, Wes, in terms of DRS when we've fully completed this weekend and when we've done a couple of weekends. I think that's when we'll really be able to get a full judgment on the DRS and also on the new car.
Yeah, it's far too early after just one race to call any kind of judgment on that. I got to say I kind of echo Lucy's statements just a little bit on the DRS through the latter stages of the race, but we'll see how it goes for the rest of the weekend. As Freddie Slater pulls in behind the #1 board in Parc Fermé there, gets out of the car, and will no doubt be celebrating here anytime soon. Here he goes.
Here we go! The celebration begins for the man who just missed out on the win in the sprint race in Formula 3 at Bahrain. Didn't miss out today at all. Took everything he could have today. Took the fastest time in both qualifying sessions. And he found himself dominating this race, taking the fastest lap as well. He's basically doing everything, and for the rounds that he does in this championship, he's just going to try and execute all the points he can completely. And we had a prediction from Jess coming in earlier on that she's predicting Slater to win this title. He is missing quite a lot of rounds, but if he just continues doing this and the rest of the field is inconsistent, then, I mean, who knows?
I tell you, if he manages to win this title despite missing the races that he is, there's going to be some very, very long faces in the paddock, isn't there? Of course, he could very well be, well, we know he's doing Freca, but he could very well be doing more F3 races as well. So if he comes through the end of this racing season without being signed on to some kind of F1 driver academy, I will be very, very shocked.
Yep, absolutely. Joseph, who I was just commentating with a couple of days ago, also mentioning in the chat about the timing tower momentarily being wrong, but then he noticed that it was just about the entry list. Okay, we're going to flick it down to battle screen, and we're going to be able to hear from our winner, Freddie Slater.
We're going up into Stowe. There was a big cloud coming, so I knew there was a risk of rain, so I had to keep kind of building my margin to give myself a bit of a cushion. But no, overall super positive. I think the team gave me a great car to go out there and do what I just did. Pace has been good today, and we'll see what we can do tomorrow.
When it comes to this new car, obviously you've not been in it in a race condition so far. Did it behave exactly how you'd imagine, or were there any quirks?
We actually had to make a slight few changes for the regulations for a race run spec car, let's say, similar to what Formula 3 do. So it's a bit of a new thing for all the teams. So we all kind of went into it a bit unknown, so nobody was really sure what was going to happen. But yeah, no, we came out on top and the car was good, so that's the main thing.
In terms of the second race of the weekend tomorrow morning, same plan as today, I guess?
Yeah, same plan. We'll see what the track conditions like in the morning, and should be good fun.
Excellent stuff. Congratulations, Freddie.
Thank you.
There we go, Freddie Slater winning his first race this season in GB3. Of course, competed last time out at Donington Park as well. Let's move on to Noah. Congratulations on your P2 there. Let's talk about how you got into P2.
Yeah, good start, good launch off the line. I don't think anyone had done too many practice starts. It looked like everyone kind of bogged down a bit, but I think we got away with it and managed to make up the position, and had a little look to try and pass Freddie into Maggott and Beckett, but ultimately I think he had the edge on us for speed anyway, so it would have been a hard race from there. But yeah, very happy.
How was it using the DRS out there?
Well, I actually had no DRS the whole race because I was more than a second behind Fred, and then no one else was around me, so I was just pushing my own air.
Well, that'd be a nice little surprise for tomorrow morning as well, with the second race of the weekend. What do you think's achievable in that race?
Sorry, say again.
The second race of the weekend tomorrow. What do you think's achievable in that race? Can you challenge?
We'll look overnight to try and find something to get a bit closer to Fred, and then hopefully we can be in a bit more of a fight. But for sure, P2 again tomorrow would be achievable, and we'll aim for that.
Well, congratulations again. We'll let you go and get your trophy.
Thank you.
There we go, and we'll move on to Gianmarco Pradel. Congratulations there at a podium in the first GB3 race of the season. How was it out there for you?
Yeah, I mean, after the start, which didn't go the best, yeah, it was just really a big battle. The dirty air in these cars is a lot more than I thought it was going to be, and yeah, it was really difficult to stay close. Even within DRS, I wasn't really able to close that gap, but I mean, overall, I felt it was a decent race. Yeah, really consistent. Was able to try and work on a few bits which I needed to. So, yeah, happy with the results. I know there could have been more, but you know, we can always say that.
Knowing what you know now about how these cars behave in a race circumstance situation, what will you change for tomorrow?
I think make the start a bit better. That's the most obvious change. But yeah, I reckon just send it a bit more, and I guess I know how the car can behave a bit better. So yeah, I think we'll see a bit more passing tomorrow.
Well, congratulations again, first podium of hopefully many this season.
Yeah, thanks very much.
There we go. Those were our podium sitters, and we'll chat to some more drivers in a second. But first, Lewis will talk you through the podium.
Yes, the podium, always an exciting factor and an exciting place to see the drivers after their brilliant performances. And as you can see on screen, they're getting ready for the Ginetta Junior Championship. And I absolutely hate now how when, well, we were trying to get on for GB3, I had to put on an image of the grid due to how long it was taking for everything to disappear from the old race, the other Ginetta race. And now, of course, we've finished, and basically immediately, a couple of minutes after the formation lap, a couple of minutes after the race finishing, I should say, we immediately lose everything and they start preparing for the race as well. So it never goes in our favour. Hopefully that'll change across the rest of the weekend. But we're going to get ready, even though you may not be able to see any timings right now at this stage. We are going to get ready for the podium, and it's going to be a very enjoyable podium coming up for Freddie Slater. But yes, interesting stuff being mentioned by Pradell there. He also agreeing that the dirty air was quite bad, and he wasn't able to close in too much, Wes, even with the DRS.
Yeah, that's right. Just sometimes it's hard to follow in the dirty air, even at this relatively low level in the Formula tier rank. They still have dirty air.
Yep, absolutely.
As we see the drivers coming out onto the podium now. We've got Jean-Marc Pradell third, Noah Lyle in second, and any second now. Here he is, Freddie Slater, the winner.
Freddie Slater is the winner indeed, and we are going to be able to hear his... we're going to get the trophies given right now. First of all, with Pradell getting the trophy for third position, and then you're going to see Noah Lyle also receiving that trophy, and then finally to the man of this race, Freddie Slater, doing the job brilliantly. I also want to say congratulations to pulling on a great result. Bustamante will try and fight back later on, hopefully throughout the season as well, but a great debut performance from pulling. And the podium pictures now take place, and the celebrations all do happen in terms of after this podium, and then finally we get to the celebrations in a couple of moments as they take away the champagne, and we look back at the highlights of this race, and it was a fantastic launch off the line by Lyle, able to get by around the outside, and that's the moment where he was able to take second place. And you also had Keanu Al-Zahari trying to make some moves further back. Slater was under a little bit of pressure only through Maggott and Beckett, and then he was able to pull away after that. The opening corners were very, very well behaved for most of the field, Wes.
Yeah, that's right. The early laps quite chaotic, but after they managed to spread out just a little bit, things quickly settled down, and there we can see just in the highlights that was how Kanato Lee managed to lose the tip of his front nose cone. So that actually happened on lap 1.
It absolutely did. That is how that took place. And I'm also excited to say we're finally going to be able to get you some information from the race that's just taken place. We're just going to get you an image on screen of the classification of our contest today, and it's going to include, of course, all of the penalties as well. So we did have cars number 23, as of course we mentioned on air. That was Stefan Bostanjiv, but we also had penalties coming in for the number 29 of Micah Abrams, and also the number 88 of Kai Darianani, which is why he found himself dropping down near the end of that contest. We're going to now quickly run you through the race results, and as we do so, we're going to be able to also bring you over to see our grid order and our grid results. And it was Freddie Slater in a perfectly formatted grid for you can see right now. Freddie Slater who entered as the winner, Noah Lyle in second place, and then we had Pradell in P3, Ninovic was in 4th, and then it was pulling in 5th. Johnson ahead of Keanu Al-Zahari, and then Will McIntyre in 8th. Kai Darianani in 9th with the penalty. Dion Goda in 10th. Hizenroda was in 11th, then it was Yamakoshi. Lee had damage to the nose cone, and then it was Flusha directly in behind in 14th. Siworaton in 15th. Schwarzer in 16th. Fairclough recovered well to 17th. Sherwood was directly in behind in 18th. Then it was Enzo Tan Vanickel in 19th. Ewan Pusway was in 20th. And then at the back it was Jacques Brabhams, Abraham, sorry, I should say, Bostanjeev in 23rd. And then Nandan was in 24th position in the contest as well. A really, really fascinating way to kick off GB3 in 2025. But I'm going to be hoping, Wes, tomorrow, that we just get a little bit more action and a little bit more fun. I think race 3 will definitely be quite enjoyable to see. Before I hear from you, let's quickly go down and go to Piers Pryor speaking to Abby Pulling.
How are you feeling after that?
Yeah, great debut, and I tried to go for the podium in Maggotts Beckett's on the first lap. Stuck my nose up the inside, but ended up dropping a position because of it, but gave it a go. Yeah, it was a really fun race. Ended up dropping off a little bit, managing my tyres, trying to be a bit strategic. I then caught up again at the end, but it just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, Lewis and I in the commentary box are saying, I wonder if this is a tactical play. Of course, we've got a long way to go, still 2 more 25-minute races. How much do you reckon that time management's going to come into play?
It's huge. I mean, we've only got 2 sets over the weekend, so we're using set 1 that we used just then in race 3, the reverse good race. So if you looked after your tyres in that race, then you'll be in a good position for the last one. So there was a little bit of strategy in play there.
Well, Abby, a great start to the season. We'll let you go and cool off as we grab Nikita Johnson, a returning driver for High-Tech TGR this year. Nikita, same championship, different team, but similar result. You get inside the top 10. I can see from your face you're not over the moon, but talk to us about your emotions.
I mean, it's been pretty good. Practice been up and down. We've just been trying to figure out the car. That's the whole thing. When you get a new car, you're trying to go find what works and what doesn't. So we kind of found a good baseline, and then in the race, I wasn't expecting the start to be like that. I dropped the clutch a little bit too fast, and it just engaged really hard and had almost stalled it. So then went back a few positions on that lap, came back forward a little bit, and finished where I started. So it was a bit eventful being mid-pack and like 3 wide and for half the lap, but other than that, I mean, it was a pretty solid race.
Well, part of the fun. We'll see you kick on, I'm sure. Nikita, thanks very much for catching up with us. We're going to grab a new driver to the championship with us, XL Motorsport, for a new team, Dion Gowder. Dion, you must be pretty happy with that result.
Yeah, it was all right. Not done much testing in the car and team's first race weekend in GB3. So yeah, we did all right. I think there's bits where we can improve on for tomorrow. That's good. We're starting P3, so hopefully we can get a good race there. But no, it was a decent race and a good baseline to work on.
Absolutely. 10th place in the first race of the season, and you're going to be kicking on, I'm sure, in race 2?
Sorry?
You're going to be kicking on. What are you going to try and do in race 2?
Exactly. Then a bit higher up. But yeah, we'll see how we get on tomorrow.
Dion, good start to the season. We'll see how you get on. Thank you very much for chatting with us. And I'll bring in John once again. Hey, that's first.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I really enjoyed the race. I tried my best out there. And oh no, wait, sorry, I'm not the racing driver. I really love the XL Motorsport car, by the way. Obviously the first time we've seen them racing, really striking car. I love the pink on that, and a dominant race. I'm hearing Freddie Slater's name mentioned. People were like gathering around here.
Oh, Freddie Slater.
And they're all going Freddie Slater. And what someone just said to me, how many seconds did he win by? I was like 6.6 seconds. They're like, oh, I've already had the message from Jen, who's watching the United States of America, DM'd me on Instagram going, this Freddie Slater kid's amazing. I was like, I mean, the word's getting out about Freddie Slater. It's a shame he's not doing the full season with us, but I think we're going to have to really look forward to the other races that we see of him this weekend, and that he's in danger of absolutely dominating this weekend, isn't he?
He's looked pretty dominant so far. I was wondering whether he just found something on 1 lap pace, because he was nearly half a second, 6/10 in qualifying, but then to be able to do that pretty much lap on lap and consistently in the race. I mean, he's one of the hottest properties in young motors, in single-seater feeder series motorsport at the moment. He's got a lot of experience in single-seaters. He's clearly driving at a high level, but also it gives all the drivers an opportunity or catch him.
It absolutely does as well, and we'll thank the World Feed for everything in terms of interviews and their analysis pre and post race for us as well. But I can see their pictures and their stream is having a couple of issues, so we'll just bring it back to us to wrap up the show. So Wes, well, as I was asking you before, or rather telling you, I'm just hoping that we do see a little bit more action when it comes to race 2 tomorrow, and well, when we get down to race 3, there's always going to be something. I'm sure Freddie Slater will love passing everyone. There's always going to be something when it comes to a reverse grid race in race 3.
Yeah, I'm rather interested actually. I've got an interesting little factoid here.
Go for it.
From lap 3 all the way to the final lap, He did a fastest lap every lap in a row.
Wow.
So so that is 10 fastest laps in a row. Quite unbelievable domination there from Slater. Also, a bit of a side note for those of you who are interested, race 2 of the Ginetta Junior race tomorrow is going to be their 500th race. So interesting little anniversary for them.
Well, congratulations to them, and we're hoping that they can have a good race, of course, racing alongside on this weekend, as is British GT. That is the round that we are supporting. But, well, that brings an end to the amazing action from the opening round. It's been the Freddie Slater show, but other drivers have shown then that when he's not here, it's going to be really, really fun to see. And when he is here, can anyone beat him? That is the question that we leave round 1, race 1, asking. Can we see it tomorrow in race 2? And then, of course, the reverse grid. He's going to have to make overtakes in race 3. But join us for the second race of the weekend when we continue the story here at Silverstone tomorrow. Goodbye.